Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with a video that is going to compare Nestlé to Palantir. And I know that what you are thinking, hey, he's going to the commercial tour with Palantir, but why am I picking Palantir versus Nestlé? Because Palantir is one of the best performing stocks in the past 5 years, and it has seen high growth driven by artificial intelligence and data analytics. And Nestle, on the other hand, is one of the best dividend stocks in Switzerland, and it remains a fortress of consistency. And for me, I have bought Nestle a few times in the past few months, so I'm apparently a Nestle believer and I'm a dividend value investor, but a lot of people, they are into Palantir and they drive the price higher and higher. So that's why I think it's nice to compare those two against each other, because they both illustrate what the stock market really is, and it's a place where expectations and human psychology determine a lot of the price action, and that's completely okay. So let's first off look at Nestle, because Palantir is in and Nestle is out, and we need to dig a little bit deeper. So Nestle, you have Nestle on the Swiss stock market. NESN is the ticker symbol. .SW if you want to find it on Yahoo Finance. This is the ISIN code, and at 16:20 today, so at 4 o'clock 20 in the afternoon, the price of Nestle was 73.45 Swiss francs. It was down at that time. I don't know what it has done since then because I was busy preparing my PowerPoint presentation to make this video. And as you know, I say don't check your portfolio too often. It's unnecessary to do it, especially if you are a value or a dividend investor. The dividend that it pays out is 3.05 Swiss francs. Normally next year it's going to go up once again. Dividend yield right now is 4.14%. You have an earnings per share of 4 Swiss francs, and the payout ratio is actually a little bit high with 76.25%. So for me, all these numbers are pretty good. The PE ratio is a little bit too high, just above 18, but as you know, I bought it always just below 18. But the payout ratio is actually the only bad thing that you see on this page. The forward PE ratio is believed to be 16.9. So that's not me that is saying that. That's just a prediction of all the analysts on the internet that I found. And the market capitalization is 188.94 billion Swiss francs. And if you put that into dollars, this means that you have 236.17 billion in market cap for Nestle, a huge company with huge revenue and stuff. We're going to look at that later. And you have for Nestle, what is good about Nestle, so they have 6 big bet innovations, like they are really aiming towards premium beverages, also health supplements, and those 6 big bet innovations in the first half of 2025 generated 200 million in revenue. So that's really nice. The strategic focus now is premium brands and vitamins, minerals, and supplements. And they are also restructuring underperforming units, especially their water unit. So they split that off, and it's now a separate unit in their business. They wanted to split it off completely and make it a separate company, but then they shied away from it. So that was a bit unfortunate. I think they should have gone through with that, but hopefully the new CEO will pick up that plan again and go through with it. The operational efficiency is improving, so they have a program running, and that is called Fuel for Growth. And this year it is believed to bring a cost savings of 0.7 billion Swiss francs. Then they also have a digital transformation, so you have artificial intelligence and enterprise resource planning integration that are trying to streamline the operations and also boosting the decision-making speed of Nestlé, and that's necessary because they are a really big business which is operating worldwide. So they have a lot of things to look at, discuss, and then also decide. And if those decisions come really slow, it costs Nestlé money. Sometimes it's going too fast is not good as well, but yeah, in this case, Nestle is maybe a little bit clunky and they need to improve on that. And then they also showed resilience amid headwinds. So you had high inflation, you had currency pressure, especially now with the dollar being very weak and the euro also being very weak compared to the Swiss francs. They still maintain solid margins, and their margin is around 16%. So for me, that's really good. When the margins are above 15%, I'm really happy. And Nestle is already years above 15%, and now with 16, they are still above it. So I'm really happy about that. And they also reaffirmed their guidance for 2025. And then we can go and look at Palantir. So that ticker is PLTR. And here is the ISIN code of Palantir on the stock market in the US. You have a price of $166.86. So that was also about, yeah, it was 20 before 5 then already. And they had a dip, but now they are, yeah, soaring up again. So it was only a temporary dip. So people that picked up Palantir around these points, they will be really happy that it's rising again. And they don't pay out a dividend, so they don't have a dividend yield as well. The earnings per share in 2024 it was $0.19 per share, and yeah, payout ratio nothing of course because they don't pay out a dividend. But they already increased their earnings per share in 2025, so in the trailing 12 months to $0.30. So it really goes fast with Palantir, and that's why they are also growing a lot in share price, of course. A lot of people see that and they start buying and they increase the price a lot. The only thing that is frightening to me is the PE ratio. The PE ratio of Palantir is just crazy. With growth rates like they have, a PE of 120 is more or less reasonable, but 556 right now, that is just crazy. And compared to the value of 2024, which is more comparable to the 18.3 that we have for Nestle, it's actually 878. But you see, because they increase their earnings per share fast, their PE ratio is dropping fast as well. So I'm not saying that it's crazy that people say, okay, when I'm invested in it for 6-7 years, the PE ratio will come down to 40-50. So I'm okay with paying now 556 times the earnings of today. It's up to them to decide whether or not they want to do that. I'm not doing that at all because for me it's way too risky, but I don't blame them either. Therefore, the forward PE is already better, so there it's 225, but probably yeah, when they announce their next earnings and people see their earnings going up to 0.38, then they have again a doubling in 2025 compared to 2024. Maybe they will maintain a P/E ratio of 550, and then yeah, the price is going to shoot up once again. So the sky is the limit in for Palantir right now. So who's to say what the future is going to bring? The market capitalization of Palantir right now on the stock market in America is 395.635 billion. And that for me is really crazy. So if you look at Palantir, you have the artificial intelligence demand explosion. So their platform AIP is a game changer, helping clients to deploy large language models securely and effectively. They have strategic partnerships with AWS from Amazon. They have Azure of Microsoft, and they also have Google Cloud, where they have collaborations with. So they have all the right collaborators. And also the three collaborators that are going to profit the most from the AI hype, because they are going to they are going to be able to make a lot of money from it. Meta perhaps as well, and yeah, it's the subscription based companies that are really going to profit from it. So I believe that they made good collaboration with those three giants. They also expanded in their focus. So they used to be defense and intelligence, but now they also are in healthcare, finance, and manufacturing sectors. Their government contracts, they keep on raking them in. So that is just crazy how they are evolving. And they have a really good financial strength. They have zero debt, and their revenue in the second quarter was record breaking once again, and they have a margin of 80%. So if you look at that people are going crazy for Palantir, I'm not surprised by that at all. So Palantir is hot and Nestlé is cold or old, just how you want to see it. So if you look at their PE of 556 compared to 18.3, then you see that the only thing hot about Nestle right now is its coffee, so Nespresso. So people like Palantir, but as a value and dividend investor, I want to compare their earnings per share, and I also want to compare their revenue right now. Because if you look at the market capitalization of Palantir compared to Nestle, then the people on the market are saying that Palantir is worth way more than Nestle. So it's almost double as much, not completely, but you get the picture. It's when Palantir goes back to its top from only a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, then it's definitely double what Nestle is right now. So for me, that is crazy, because when you look at the earnings per share, there in the past few years, Palantir became profitable. So in 2023, they went from minus 0.18 to $0.09 in earnings per share. And then last year, in 2024, they more than doubled their earnings per share from 9 cents to 19 cents. And in 2025 so far, they are well on its way to double it once again. So in the trailing 12 months, they are now at 30 cents. Nestle, on the other hand, they have in 2020 4.30, and then if you go down to 2024, you see that it went down. But that's also to do with the fact that it's all in Swiss francs compared to dollar. When you go to the dollar, it's more even actually. So it still went up in 2021 and 2022, but then there was still a drop, but not so dramatically as is depicted in Swiss francs. But that's not an excuse. You see that Nestlé is really struggling, and even in the first half of 2025, their earnings per share was down from 2.16 in the first half of 2024 to 1.97 for the first half of 2025. So they are in need of a good second half of 2025 to reach their estimate for the whole of 2025, and that is 4.05. So then they would see an increase once again in Swiss francs, but yeah, the first half of 2025 wasn't that promising. And then we can go to the revenue. So if you look at that, there you have Palantir going from 1.09 billion in 2020 to 2.87 billion in 2024. So if you look at those numbers, growth of 41%, 23%, 16, almost 17%, and 29% in 2024, and an estimated growth of 38.8% so far in 2025. So that those numbers are just crazy. And then you can look at Nestlé in Swiss francs. What I said earlier with the earnings per share, you can see here as well. So there was a rise in 2021 and 2022, but then, yeah, in Swiss francs there was a decline of 1.5% and 1.8%. Probably this year in Swiss francs there will be a decline as well of 1.9%. But if you look in dollars, and Nestlé is a worldwide operator, so they also attain a lot of their revenue in America or in the United States, and there you go from 90.32 billion to 106 billion. So actually, if you look at that, they go up 16 billion from 2020 to 2025, and Palantir is going up 1 billion to 3.44 billion. So only 2.35 billion. So way less growth by Palantir there, but that's a matter of size, of course. But yeah, it's crazy that even though you have way larger revenue growth than Palantir in dollars, that you are considered to be a bad stock and you are not considered to be bought by investors. But going from 1.09 billion to 3.44 billion is driving people insane. And then I went over and just calculated when Palantir, damn, I forgot a T here, so sorry for that typo, needs to grow at 50% for the coming 9 years to outgrow Nestlé. So I just always divided it by half and added that half to the previous year, and that gave then this revenue number. And you see by 2033 they will have a revenue number of 110.33. And I'm not forgetting about the fact that they also have a way higher margin than Nestle right now. So it will be way earlier that they will have an earnings per share that is higher than Nestle. So you don't have to wait 9 years to have the same earnings per share. I know that. You don't need to attack me for that. It's just revenue-wise, with a growth of 50%, they need 9 years to have a revenue that is above the revenue of Nestle. And of course, Nestle, normally they will grow their revenue as well, more or less at the rate of the inflation. So they will be more or less, yeah, more or less even in 2034, if my predictions are correct. So the conclusions of this video are: buyers and sellers determine where the price is of a stock, and that is for me fine, and definitely because I'm a value investor and now I can pick up Nestlé pretty cheap. So below a PE of 18, I'm always happy to pick up the stocks that somebody else doesn't want anymore. And for now, on the stock market, for the investors in Palantir, everything is good as well because the price is going up and Palantir is performing really good because they are putting out great numbers. For me, the only thing that is scary is that their PE is sky high, and this means that everything needs to go right the coming years. And if this is not the case, the PE premium that investors are paying right now will fall, and this is this is a compounding effect. So you saw the compounding effect of the 50% growth. So you only need 9 years of growth to go from 2 billion, 2 and a bit of billion, to 110 billion. So it goes really fast. But here the compounding effect of a falling earnings of Palantir and a falling PE premium will mean that the investors that jump in Palantir at a later moment, that they will face a huge loss. So for now, however, they are still putting out great numbers. They are growing enormously, and the investors that are in Palantir, they see their portfolio growing day by day. And for me, they only have the when to sell problem. And you know what I've said in the previous video, knowing when to sell is the hardest thing of investing. Buying, it's not that hard. When you do your calculations and you think a stock is buyable, you buy it. And hindsight doesn't exist for buying. Because at the moment that you buy, you think and you believe that you are right. But for selling, that is such a difficult thing. So for me, I don't like to be in the place of Palantir investors. I'm an investor in Nestlé. They are struggling right now. Their price is going down, and it's already 3.5 years that their price is going down on the stock market. But they still have strong brands, and now that they have a new CEO once again, and only after 1 year of switching to the previous CEO, so that's not that great as well. That's also a thing why Nestle isn't performing that great in the past week and a half, and they are, for me, hopefully back on track for years to come with their new CEO. I believe this CEO is better than the previous one. I wasn't a big believer in the previous one, but okay. I'm just a small investor. I invest in Nestle through you, so I can't deposit my shares, so I can't go and vote on the annual meeting. But I don't think my few shares that I have will make a huge impact when I go voting there as well. But still, for my other stocks that I have on my Swissquote account, there I always deposit them and I always vote. So I get the letters and I vote for sure for the general meeting. For me, myself and other investors, they take less risk with buying Nestle compared to buying Palantir, but with greater risks comes more profit or more loss. So it's either way. I like lesser risk. I like dividends, and Nestle is a great dividend company. So I think they are going to perform for the next 20, 30 years at least. And they have now on the stock market the old and boring problem. Nobody is interested in Nestlé anymore, so that's just the way it is. When there is no hype for Nestlé, the investors stay away, and even though there is a lot of trading in Nestlé, yeah, it's not trading up. So is Palantir really worth more than Nestlé? For me, it is not. For other people, it is. For me, Palantir is way overvalued, and Nestlé is actually right now undervalued. Historically speaking, certainly. Normally, Nestlé is around 23, 24 in PE value, which is actually pretty high. I like to have my stocks around 18 up to 20, then they are good. But this is the end of this video, and I say let's revisit this comparison in about 10 years. So thank you for watching to this video. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, hitting that like button as well. That helps out my channel enormously. And thank you for watching to this one, and see you on the next one on my YouTube channel. Bye.